Go. Hi, I'm so glad you decided to come in today. It's been about a week since I last saw you. Why don't you tell me kind of what's been going on this past week? How are things going for you?
So this past week, I've been having kind of a hard time.
Hmm.
Um, I found out that my best friend can't make it for my birthday. Um, she moved all the way to Michigan, and I really thought she would come and be there for me on my special day, but she's just having marriage problems right now, and she's over in Michigan and she can't come. And I guess it has made me feel a little bit like like she doesn't really care about how I feel. And that I want her there, especially since we've been like lifelong best friends since we were kids. So yeah.
I'm sorry to hear that she's unable to make it. Sounds like she's a pretty important person in your life and somebody that you enjoy sharing these special times with.
Yeah, she's definitely my only friend. So
Your only friend that you let me rephrase that. You say only friend. Does that mean where you're currently living, you don't see anybody else as a potential friend to you?
I think she's more of like a deeper friend to me, where it's a very meaningful relationship and she's the only person I can really open up to or talk to or feel comfortable with. I have like more superficial friends, but I don't really see them as much. And I feel like when I talk to them, it's more like forced because we don't have that deeper relationship that me and her have.
Mhm. It's interesting that you say that it's not as deep, and you use the word forced. That is a very powerful word to describe some of those relationships you're having right now.
Mhm.
What about her makes her such a good friend to you and have that connection with you?
I think it's just for me, it's being so familiar with her and having her for years and growing up with her that I feel like I can truly be myself and like we care for each other so much and she's always there. And I find that it's hard for me to let new people in, and I always kind of keep them like kind of away, and I will only see them if I'm out and I see them or like we're like meeting at the same gathering. But I never go the extra step to actually like hang out with them or try to like have a deeper. I just feel like with her it just comes so natural. And I feel like it's just that familiarity. Like she's so familiar to me that it's just so easygoing.
Can you tell me about an experience where you maybe have tried to reach out to a potential new friend and what happened in that situation?
I have tried to reach out to a new friend, and I've noticed that when I do, it's they're not putting as much effort into me as I'm putting into them. Like if I ask to hang out, we'll hang out, but then they won't ask me or like check up on me later. Like they're not having that me and her have. Like we talk to each other every day, we see each other all the time. And with the other relationships, it just feels like they're not really as attentive in the friendship like I am. And then I started thinking, I'm like, oh, maybe they don't really like me. So I start kind of thinking that way after. So I think that's why I try to avoid it.
Okay. Do you see that as possible self sabotage in a way?
I could see that in a sense of like, I maybe don't want to go deeper with them because I might think like, oh, what if they're not really like wanting to be my friend like that? Or I always think like, oh, maybe they don't really like me for some reason. So I do like shut off as well and I won't reach out again to avoid that.
It sounds to me like that is a protective boundary that you have put up for yourself
Mhm.
due to past experiences. And that's why I asked what has kind of happened in the past. It seems like you go into it with good intentions. You go into it with expectations of, oh, I'm going to meet this new friend. We're going to, build a relationship together. And you're putting in effort and you're not getting it in return. So instead of continuing to put out that energy, you're just almost deciding, nope, okay, I can go with this friend because she's already proven she's a
Mhm.
good friend. She's going to be there. This girl over here, it's like, I don't know her. I don't know if she's going to be a good friend to me or not. So rather than try and be disappointed, the easier route for you is just to say, nope, I'm okay. I'm okay. I'll wait. I'll wait for friend in Michigan because she gonna
Yeah.
be there. But now she can't be there.
Mhm. Yeah, and I feel like I've also been hurt in the past by friends that were really close to me, and that hurt me like a lot, where they kind of I found out that they were talking behind me and they were like basically just not a really good friend. So I feel like when me and her got really close, like I kind of just closed off to her. But I am seeing that now, like I am struggling because I'm like, oh, I'm gonna have a birthday party. Who am I gonna invite to my birthday party? You
Mhm.
know? And yeah, so it is, I know I shouldn't just rely on one person.
I definitely think it's good that you have that one person that you feel like you can be honest with, you can be yourself with. I think that that's amazing that you have that connection with somebody.
Mhm.
However, I do like that you acknowledge that, you said, "Well, I want to have a birthday party. Who can I invite?" So you're seeing that, hey, maybe the way I've been going about it isn't the best way. I'm not saying that I want you to completely put yourself out there and go talk to everybody on the street and be like, "Hi, do you want to be my friend? Let's go hang out." Not what I'm saying at all. But what I am saying is that, past experiences really do shape who we are. And yes, it can make us avoid certain situations, make us avoid certain things because we're protecting ourselves. But if we don't take the chance to actually change that perspective, we're left with the feelings of, probably some isolation
Mhm.
and feelings of disappointment when the person that we truly do care about can't be there. Because now who do you turn to?
I definitely did go a little hard on her being when she said she couldn't come. Like I got really mad and I got really upset and I started just telling her like, "Oh, we've been lifelong friends and you're choosing your husband over me." And I said some mean stuff to her, which I'm not proud of. But and I felt like it just came from me like feeling so like sad that she wasn't going to be able to come here, and that stopped me from just having any like compassion towards her and realizing that she probably didn't want to miss my birthday and she probably did want to come see me, but she's having a lot of problems right now where she can't sacrifice that, which I did later on talk to her and like apologize for what I said, but I don't like that that was my initial reaction.
Okay. So you did find a resolution to it, to the situation, in the sense that, you're not feeling any animosity or any anger or disappointment towards her any longer.
Yeah, I definitely breathed over, especially when I talk to like my family, because we're like family friends too.
Mhm.
And they kind of like reassured me that, she's going through a really hard time and it's not the best time for her to come here. And I noticed I was just being a little selfish and like just thinking like, of course I miss her and I want to see her and we're really close. And I was definitely like projecting it onto her, like displacing it onto her.
So you were able to do some personal self-reflection.
Hmm.
That's
Yes.
good. That's great. Honestly, that is a skill that many people wish they could possess, but many have trouble possessing. It's very hard for us to look and see the, well, maybe I could have done this better, or, maybe I need to rethink the way I think of some things. That is a huge benefit to you. And I'm very, very happy that you were able to do that and come to some sort of resolution with her. That's fantastic. Well, we are out of time for today. Is there anything that you wanted to wrap up with before we end?
No, I think you were like a great help, and I really do see myself kind of maybe trying to rekindle old relationships with people I didn't really give much of a chance to and see where that can go to.
I am very, very happy to help, and I'm very excited to hear how those potential relationships pan out.
Thank you.
Yes. You have a great rest of your day, and I will see you next week.
You too. Thank you. See you next
All right.
week.